Oh, you can tell this guy plays a little basketball, or used to. Now he coaches. It's Ryan Bowen, the new head coach of the Grand Rapids Gold. Ryan, congrats on the job. How big of a whirlwind is it? And what is the next month going to be like as you help Denver get ready and you start building this team?
Well, thank you. It's very exciting to be here. Really happy to be a part of this, special organization with the Gold. Been with the Nuggets for a long time, as a coach, 12 years now. Played there for 5 years. So Denver's kind of my home in the NBA, but to have the opportunity to be a head coach, to run a team, and especially in a great organization in such a great city as Grand Rapids, really exciting. This next month is kind of hectic, getting guys here, putting my coaching staff together, getting them moved to town. And then, we're about a month away from, starting camp and starting practice. The draft is coming up. So we got a lot going on, getting ready for our first game on November 7th.
So what prompted the change for you? I mean, you've been in the NBA all this time. G League, it's not the NBA, but a great development league. Why make this switch?
I've always thought about being a head coach, and I've got to be fortunate to play with to coach with some great coaches. Chris Finch is the one guy that said to me years ago, we worked together in Denver, and obviously Chris Finch is the head coach in Minnesota. He said, Rybo, if you ever got a chance to be a head coach in the G League, do it, because that's where you learn how to do everything. You'll learn what's important and what's not important. And I never really thought much about it. No, I'm an assistant coach in the NBA. Why would I want to do that? Well, obviously, with the coaching change that happened this year with Denver, I just felt it was a perfect opportunity for me to kind of get outside my comfort zone and go run a show, have an opportunity to be a head coach and kind of see where it takes me. So I'm really excited and looking forward to the opportunity.
A couple of years ago, you got that championship ring.
Yep.
Are you wearing that? Do you wear that around? Or?
No, it won't fit on my finger, but no, I do. I have it locked up in a safe place. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's fun when people come to the house and to get it out to show them, the championship ring. I never was fortunate enough as a player. I'm 9 years in the NBA. Made it a couple of rounds every now and then as a player, but then as a coach, you felt like, you just wonder, are you ever going to have a chance to be a part of a championship team? And then the 2 years ago, everything just came together, and we had an unbelievable run. That was an amazing season, and to get to celebrate with the ring was really special.
You've had a front row seat, and you got to coach Jokic. How can you describe like what he is? I mean,
you really can't. I mean, he is, one of the top 5, if not the best player in the world. Not in the NBA. A lot of times, he's the best player in college. He's the best player. He's one of the best basketball players in the world. And to think about, if you're saying that 10 years ago when he first gets drafted, you're like, is he really? And then just to see his progression over the years and over, his development, and just to watch him. Every game he's going to do something, you're going to say, man, I've never seen anybody do that before. Some of his passes that he makes, the shots that he makes, it's incredible. It's really fun. It's special to be a part of it. And like you mentioned, to have a front row seat for that for the last 10 years has been pretty remarkable.
What do you learn from a player like that?
I think what Nikola is his work ethic. He's the same every single day, his consistency. No matter we lose a game, it's a double overtime game, he's going up to the weight room and he's lifting. He's coming the next day. He is getting his workout in. And I think that's what I always tell the young players. Just watch Nikola, what he does. Watch how he works on a day-to-day basis. You'll understand why he's one of the best players in the world. He's consistent with it. He puts the time in with it. And if I can relate anything to the young players, it's all about consistency. It's having that routine that you do every day. So when you step on the court, you're ready and prepared to do the best you can.
How crazy was last year being a part of that? I mean, this team was winning. They won 50 games again, but right before the playoffs, they make the coaching change. How difficult was that to navigate, and what do you take from that?
It was extremely difficult. It was, especially having worked for Coach Malone for the 10 years in Denver, but 2 years in Sacramento as well, and very close with him off the court as well. So it was a difficult transition, but I think the way the guys came together and said, hey, it's not about what's going on off the court. We have to perform better on the court. And a lot of time that happens. A lot of time the players rally around if there's a coaching change. change. And just the way we finished the year winning that first round series against the Clippers, taking to Oklahoma City, the eventual champions, to 7 games. Now, Game 7 didn't go very well, but we were right there. We had a chance in a couple of the earlier games that we lost. So to know that the guys, they still have it. They can do it, but just the way they came together at the end, the coaching staff, we all had to step up. We all had different roles come playoff time in those last 3 games of the regular season to give ourselves a chance and put ourselves in position to make a run.
You're a coach, you know better than I do, and most fans. I just want to ask you a question about the Pistons. What are you seeing from that organization right now?
Well, they had obviously an amazing year last year, and they were really close to advancing another round. They have such a special group of a young core. Obviously, from a coaching staff, the way they have bought in and playing for him, I think is exciting. They made some tweaks to their roster, so it'll be interesting how that all comes together. But it is definitely exciting to see what they did this year, what they've been building. It's one of those teams you're like, maybe a couple years ago, what are we working towards? And you see the pieces together, and now all of a sudden, to make them relevant in the East is pretty neat to see.
All right, first-time head coach, how do you prepare for this? I mean, have you been calling coaches you've worked for, coaches around the league? What's your preparation for these?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of advice, from quite a few different, head coaches in the NBA. It's been kind of neat to get calls from guys that maybe I worked with or played for years ago. Hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to focus on. So just trying to learn as much as I can. I thought it was important for me to get here and meet as many people as possible and start putting together, my staff was a big thing, getting them in order. And now we're just, kind of tying up loose ends and getting ready to go. So it's exciting. I know I have a lot to learn. It's not going to be perfect, but I feel like all the times of me playing in the NBA, being a coach in the NBA, over close to 20 years experience in that. I've college a few years. I think just puts me in position to know and learn. But I think I'm ready for the challenge.
Coaching at this level, there's always the development versus winning.
Right.
And I know if you develop really well, you win more. But is importance put more on one than the other?
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask Steve, he wants to win. No, I think some people, it's all about winning. And I think the G League has changed in the last 2 or 3 years. I think, 4 or 5 years ago, it was a lot more on development. It was the developmental league. And, with the China turning over to, at the end of the day, it's about wins and losses. And so obviously, we know we want to win. But as a coach, the most satisfying thing for me is when we get a guy called up. And you get a guy called up to the NBA, I think that's what I want to see. Obviously, if we win games, that's going to help. They're not calling up guys from, losing records as much as they are winning records. And so the combination of developing our gold players, along with developing the Nuggets two-way players and anybody else they might send our way, with the hopes of winning as many games as possible. But, getting those guys called up, it's a development for everybody. It's for coaches, for trainers, for strength coaches, everyone, with the hopes of elevating and making it to that next level.
So you were in Denver where these guys were getting called up too. What were you seeing from the players that were coming up from Grand Rapids?
The guys that were coming up, we felt they were ready to go, that we could put them in the game. Down towards the end of the year, last year, we played a game at Golden State. Spencer Jones had not played many meaningful minutes for us with the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. We played a game at Golden State. Coach threw him out there, and he played 15 to 20 minutes. He played great, and he was ready. The preparation that he had playing for Grand Rapids was seamless. He was ready to come in and play, and hopefully we can do that, that there's confidence from the Nuggets coaching staff that, hey, let's go ahead and send the guys down to Grand Rapids because we know they're going to be prepared when we call them back up. So that's kind of our hope, that there can be this synergy with the Nuggets. It's seamless. Guys can come in. They're going to know the play calls because it's going to be the same. And, hopefully put a good product on the court in the same sense.